Well, good evening. It is Tuesday. This is the Play Callers Pod. We are live. We are missing Coach Kirk Broussard, but he will be joining us very soon. But we do have Coach Chris Williams. Hello, how are you?
Hey Tracy, how are you?
I'm okay.
Just
I'm
okay.
okay. I'm full from all the Thanksgiving dinners. Um, we had a tough loss yesterday here in Hamilton against the Argos,
Mm-hmm.
24-23.
Mm. Close
You
one.
you understand the pain in that.
I sure do understand the pain. That hurts.
It hurts. It still hurt this morning. I don't know if it was just my bruised ego or what it was, but or if it was all the turkey that I ate. But I'm definitely am stuffed, and I am good. I know we have so much to cover tonight, and we'll save some of it for when Coach Kirk comes on.
Mm-hmm.
But in the meantime, I want to get caught up with you. I want you to tell me what is going on with that HBCU, the pigskin updates. What's going on?
Yeah, man. There's been a lot happening. Thanks for
Mhm.
asking, first of all. But let's see. We've this last week we were able to get the Wendy's company, the Wendy's fast food joint. They
Yeah.
them as one of our corporate sponsors, which we're pretty proud of that. Um, and not just for giving us food, they're actually going to be a financial backer, which is
That's
pretty,
amazing.
yeah, which is pretty exciting. So got that done last week. Also, we've been, the response that we've been getting from the NFL teams has really been crazy, right? I mean,
Mhm.
I've always dealt with NFL people, and when we're trying to like help players and we're trying to get them to look at film and stuff like that. But when you've got something that you're part of creating and they've actually taken an interest, it's kind of a crazy feeling for my partner Brian and I. It's just it's a good feeling. It's an amazing feeling. But just the fact that those people see value in what it is that we're doing has been an awesome thing. I know today I talked to a female personnel person from the Washington football team,
Yes.
and and it's really been interesting. With some of the you don't even realize how many women are now in pretty prominent personnel spots in the NFL. I mean, it's been a couple weeks ago. There's a girl in the Carolina Panthers organization.
Mhm.
There's a girl in the Buffalo Bills organization. So,
Yes.
but just that conversation today made it, it brought it home to me. We're having a lot of conversations with females that are in prominent spots in these offices. That and once in a while, I was like, man, I've talked to a lot of women, based on this subject and saying they're going to make sure that the scouts are there and all that kind of stuff. So it's been a really cool process, but things are going good, and we've got a few more corporate sponsors to get closed off, and we're starting to invite players now, which is exciting. That's the fun part for me is
Mm.
watching the film and sending out the invites and stuff. So we're plugging along, but it's been a fun process. I think we're gonna make a little difference here and
Mhm.
keep it rolling.
If why was it so important for you to start this? I mean, we have people that are just tuning in. I know we got Coach Kirk Broussard that's just jumped
Coach,
on. Welcome to the Play Colors Pod. We are live tonight. If anyone who is watching, they have a comment about what we're saying, they like something, they don't like something, or they have a question, let us know. We have Lee saying, "Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the show,
lead.
Lee." So, Coach Chris Williams, let's just quickly HBCU. Congratulations on that huge sponsorship. But just tell us why it was so important to start this.
I mean, it was just it started out as we wanted to do something in football in our own business after being out of the business. So, but then we've always been helpers of players, so it started as a way to continue to help players, even though we don't work for a team anymore. I mean, I just didn't want that, and we didn't want that part of our life to stop. I mean, you don't have a job on an organization, but you still want to be there helping guys. And then being from Alabama, to be honest with you, Tracy, I mean, Selma is one of those things that's near and dear to our hearts just because of what Selma means to African American folks, and that city is really struggling right now. I mean, it's one of the poorest cities in the state of Alabama. jobs aren't there. I mean, so we wanted to bring some life back there. Not that this football game is going to change Selma's existence, but I do think it'll be something positive. Maybe other events may decide that, hey, this is a good place to come. So we want to make a difference in that community too, and and try to get some positive light back on Selma and people thinking in a positive way. So, and on top of that, wanting to be a part of this HBCU movement that's going on right now. I mean, everybody you talk to,
Yeah.
is behind the movement of supporting HBCUs, and we want to do our part too. So there's our why and a bunch of answers, right?
Amazing. Well, we do have Mike. He's just said, I love Chris Williams. He's just put that on the screen. That's a great comment. Well, thank you, Coach Chris Williams. Thank you very much. I know we had a little bit of time to catch up. And we have Coach Kirk Broussard and the Play Callers Pod. There has been so much that has happened this weekend. Just even like last night. I know we were going back and forth on messages and stuff. I'll tell you, there was a game that I yelled at the screen. I was so mad. Actually, there was a few of them. I'm sitting at 11 right. I can't seem to break that streak. I am always 10 or 11 correct, and that is it. I can't get any more. I don't know what's wrong with it. And I even picked the Bills. I did. And I sent you guys my picks too, so you can go back and check that.
You did.
I know. Somebody actually, just a funny thing on one of my social things, they posted, "Are you a witch?" Because I was picking like these bold picks and they were happening. I'm like, no, sorry, I'm not. And then once Buffalo won that one, it was kind of like, great. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I am. Who knows?
Well, you love Buffalo.
I mean, we've talked about Buffalo many, many times. But I've always said that since last season, since our first season, I said there's something about Buffalo. There's something about Buffalo. And I started off this season with the same thing, saying, yes, there was going to be that they were going to be the team.
Yeah.
Breaking news this week. Let's just get right into it, gentlemen. John Gruden resigns. Who wants to pick up on this one? I mean, obviously.
I mean, what else could he do? He didn't want to bring a lot of attention and distraction to the team there in the middle of the season. I think he made a selfless move, but a lot of people, he's probably done in the business for sure. I can't see anyone else ever hiring him in football. The way I view it is we've all said things. Every one of us have made mistakes and said things. He's in a different position than most people are in. He's in a position that is supposed to be an example to many. And so, I don't know, to take his job for something that was so far in the past, it's kind of tough, but he's a reflection of the league. Some of that stuff was from as recent as 2018. And I think that's really what got him in trouble, because if it was the stuff from 2010, maybe he could have survived that, but in the locker room, men have said a lot worse. And everyone in that league has said a lot worse about women or people that are different sex or race, and it doesn't make it right, but he's just the fall guy that's going to have to be the example that the league is going to have to set. But the league is going to have to do some damage control with that, and they're going to have to really set the example. They're going to have to make an example out of John Gruden. So,
Coach Chris Williams, what do you think?
I mean, it's a sad tale, that's for sure. I think, and our coach is hitting the nail right on the head. I mean, what else could he do? I mean, when you're in a spot where you can't recapture your locker room, and you know those guys aren't going to continue to believe in you. It's kind of between a rock and a hard place. But I do think that the league put pressure on the Davis family at the Raiders. I think this was a call out of the league office. I think this was a suggestion made, and I think he was not only personally gonna probably do the right thing, but I do think a little bit of a pressure saying, hey, either you resign or you get fired, and that's coming from a place way higher than the than the Raiders ownership. So it's a tough spot to be in. I mean, we've all said certain things, and I agree with that. But I couldn't believe when I was reading some of the stuff yesterday. I just couldn't believe that he was sending that across league email account. You know what I mean? That was the thing that I mean, we all got to be cautious of, and I think we all probably think about stuff that may go across an official, organization or email account. I think we all probably think about that. I was just surprised that he was sending that to somebody over that league wide account or over that league monitored account. That was a big mistake on his part, and came back a decade later, paid for it.
Yeah. So you gotta be careful what you say. I mean, I wonder how much more they're going to be doing any digging with other coaches, because I'm sure that he is not the only one, right? But we got to set that example, and that's probably what they were thinking. So moving forward, we are going to rank our top NFL quarterbacks. This one I found kind of hard, maybe because one or two I didn't want to admit it, but I think we can all agree Josh Allen is on this list.
Can we all agree that Josh Allen is on? Okay.
I don't know. I mean, I'm going to say I made my list. I did all my work, right?
I respect that.
Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers, and that's the one that I had the issue with this weekend. Patrick Mahomes, obviously, Kyler Murray, but I also added Matthew Stafford. I didn't put Brady on my list.
Wow.
But then again, I am just a girl, right? What do I know? Okay, so who would let me know their picks for the top 5? Maybe you have 6. I don't know.
I'll let you go first, Coach.
All right, so I'm gonna start with 5 and work my way up. So I'll go Russell Wilson at 5. Although things aren't as great this year, but I'm gonna take him as 5. Kyler Murray is having an MVP type of season now. I'll go with him at 4. Number 3 for me is Patrick Mahomes. Number 2 is Aaron Rodgers, and of course, everybody knows my number 1 would be the 44, 45-year-old Tom Brady now. So that's my top 5, and I did think it was tough for me on deciding between Wilson, Herbert, and Lamar Jackson for that 5th spot, but just based on history, I'm going Russell Wilson.
I did add Lamar Jackson to mine as well.
Mm-hmm.
I can't just say, maybe I just don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, but I don't know if there's just a top 5.
Yeah, it's tough to do 5.
It is very hard.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go.
I feel like we're being okay. Here we go.
I'm gonna go. Allen 5.
Wow.
I'm gonna go Kyler Murray 4. I'm gonna go Aaron Rodgers 3.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go Tom Brady 2, and I'm gonna go Patrick Mahomes 1.
Okay.
Yeah,
you gotta respect that.
Okay. I mean, mine wasn't in a particular order, but I think Josh Allen probably has my number 1 right now.
Yeah.
But
he's not the best quarterback in the NFL right now.
Well, no, he's done pretty good. I mean, Air Allen is doing pretty good.
But you said number 1.
Well, I don't know. Maybe I have number 1 reasons for different things. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm only kidding. I don't know. Okay, Patrick Mahomes. He's a popular guy on all our lists. Patrick Mahomes. What the heck is going on with him? Upset. I mean, do we think that he's going to be able to bounce back and he's going to be able to rebound? That was a tough loss for him.
I think the Chiefs have underestimated what a key piece Sammy Watkins was in their offense. He was he set us. He was the third down guy. He was the guy to move the chains. And as great as Tyreek Hill is, he is limited dimensionally. Yeah. I mean, there's certain dimensions that he just doesn't give you. He's not a big target. He can't play X. He's not an outside guy. He can play it on specific gadget plays, but he's an inside guy that's going to carve you up. And Sammy just gave you a lot out of the Z position, I would say, that you needed to move the chains. Mm-hmm. And I think they need a go-to playmaking receiver. I think they bolstered up their offensive line and they got a lot better, but they neglected getting Patrick Mahomes a true go-to receiver. And Travis Kelce, yeah, he brings you a lot of those dynamics, but he's a tight end. You know, you need a Michael Thomas, you need a DeAndre Hopkins, you need maybe not someone on that level, but someone in that mold that can really be a star at the X position. What do you think, Coach?
I definitely would agree with that. I mean, for as long as Coach, you and I, we've been around quarterbacks, man, and and sometimes when things are going so great, I mean, you start to believe you're hype. You hate to say it, but you start to read your own press clippings, and you start to take chances that you probably shouldn't be taking. You make a few more sidearm throws that you don't necessarily have to make, and a lot of times, you just kind of outthink yourself when it comes to I can do no wrong. So I think he's kind of hitting that wall, and you could even see it in his press conference after the game where he's kind of saying, hey, I need to do some things. I need to fix some things. I think it's hitting him square in the face that, hey, I'm doing some stuff. Maybe I'm thinking I'm invincible and some things are catching up to me. So I think he'll bounce back for sure.
But even if you go back to last year's Super Bowl, Tampa Bay ran through that offensive line like it didn't even exist. I mean, he had pressure in his face all night.
Yeah, he did.
And I think they got better on the offensive line, definitely better run blocking. Yeah. But I think they're still about an average pass blocking offensive line because he still has a lot of fire under him, to get rid of the football. So
no doubt about that.
I think front office is failing him a little bit when it comes to help.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that, Coach. I do think that may be, problem number one, right? But I still think that he's making some mistakes that he shouldn't make. So I think we're talking about a combination of the two, but some interception throws. I mean, I think there's some stuff that isn't typical for him, but you're not wrong.
I think the thing that made Kansas City great was that high-powered offense. But let's be honest, they're pretty average defensively. They give up a lot of points.
They do.
They don't have a great defense. So it's a mixture of things. I don't know. It's going to be a struggle for them to even get to the Super Bowl or win a Super Bowl. I wouldn't even have those expectations. They have a lot they need to fix. They have a lot that they need to bring into the organization to give them some help. Defensively, offensive line, and a big play receiver.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't even disagree with you on that.
Yeah.
Now, Chief fans are saying that his fiancee is a bad look for the organization. They're saying that she just needs to maybe shut up herself.
Okay.
Because she did do some tweets. She was talking about the refs. She told fans to shut up. This is not the first time that she has gone off on Twitter. I'm not sure if it was her brother as well, but there was somebody else in the family. So she, during the game, was tweeting.
Okay.
And fans were tweeting back, and she was saying, shut up to them. I don't have the exact tweet in front of me. But they're saying she's a bad look for the organization. They're not impressed anymore. They're basically telling her to shut up.
Yeah, she should definitely be quiet and enjoy that $500 million. And she doesn't want to blow it. So if I were her, right? I would. She's not Giselle. Giselle jumped on fans to defend Tom. You're not on Giselle's level yet. So calm down and sit down somewhere. Yeah. So
I was just gonna say that, Coach. I mean, it's a little bit of a different angle. I mean, I think she's suffering from normal girl status, right? I mean, here in Green Bay, when Aaron Rodgers was hopping around with Danica Patrick and some of his girlfriends, and nobody speaks up against that, right? I mean, and they are pretty vocal type people. Gisele Bündchen has been one of the most vocal, better halves that we've seen in about the last 5-6 years, right? So I mean, she speaks it out and she lets people know. So, but she's Gisele Bündchen, right? This is a normal girl that everybody's wondering why and how could she have snagged Patrick Mahomes, and so they give her the business, man. But if she's his lady and he decides that this is my lady and his lady wants to speak, he's the best quarterback in the NFL, then by God, let her speak, right?
But is this not adding to the issue here?
What's that?
Her tweeting all of this and getting very aggressive, because she was quiet for a little bit.
No. I mean,
And now she's doing this again. Now it's kind of like bad press for him, bad press for the organization. I mean, tables turned if it was her on the field doing something and he was being aggressive on the sideline on social or something. Like, isn't it code for the other person to cheer your man or your woman on, but just kind of
in an indirect way, she's kind of a representative of the Chiefs organization. Yes. And they don't want anything to tarnish the brand by you telling fans who buy tickets to shut up.
Right.
Hey, I'm just telling you, if she was Danica Patrick, we'd all let her talk. You know what I mean?
That's different.
Well, Gabrielle Union on that sideline, the NBA, we love it. We love Aisha Curry on the sideline, right? So
we did have this conversation a couple weeks back because everyone was asking about Mahomes' fiance. Her name's Brittany, right?
Yeah.
Brittany Matthews.
Normal girl.
Yeah. Normal girl. They've been dating for a long time. So, I mean, but they were wondering, like, what does she do?
Why should they wonder? Why? Why should they wonder what she does?
I guess they were all curious. Like, what does she do?
Mm-hmm.
She's a great person. I'm not saying she's not a great person, but as a female to female, hey, maybe just if you can't handle watching your man play, just take yourself away from the game, because you are part of the brand as well. And he does not need any bad PR at the moment because he is not bringing his A game. It would be different if he was playing on the field.
The fact is this: it doesn't really matter what she does.
I know.
If your spouse makes $500 million, there's nothing you can do that's ever going to measure up to him. You're never going to be good enough in the eyes of many people.
Yeah, in the eyes of people.
It's true.
Support your man, girl. Support your man. That's what you're supposed to do. I'm pretty sure he appreciates it.
Okay.
Don't mess up the check, baby. Don't mess up the check.
Don't mess with the check. You know what? I agree with that. Wow. I don't even know what to say with this one anymore, because you're right. He's making the money. Just shut up and be there for your man.
Wow. I like to see that work in one of your relationships. Just shut up. Okay. I'm going to hold you to that. I'm going to remember this day.
Listen.
If my man's making that much money,
if her man's making $500, he can say, shut up and go make me a sandwich, and she will do it.
If her man was making $500 million, she wouldn't change.
She would do it.
I would not change for him. So, I'm the same person. What you see is what you get.
I'm going to hold you to that. I remember you said that.
No, but I am. But if I feel like making you a sandwich, I will. But just, you know what?
For $500 million, you'll always feel like making me a sandwich.
Would we not have somebody making us those sandwiches?
We will, but it's the principle. Sometimes you have to do it.
Yes, you're right. And I am all for doing things for my man. It's all good.
Old school. I like that. You're old school. I like that.
You're right. I would be the type that would probably just shut up and just do as I'm told, right? Is that what you guys just said?
Listen. My grandfather made $50,000 a year, and she always made my granddad a sandwich.
Yeah. Sandwiches are good.
I can't believe you saying that, Trace. Okay, we can move on. I cannot believe that's the stance you're taking. But okay.
What stance?
That you would just shut up, and I just don't believe that.
No, of course not. I would never. Come on. If there's a point to be made, I will be making sure that my point is out there.
Yeah, now we're talking truth.
Right? Just like the debate with the Bills this past weekend with the peanut butter and jelly. Okay?
Oh, wow.
They were complaining that there was too much peanut butter, I think, versus the jelly. And, should it be triangles or rectangles? Listen, however way you are being served a sandwich, do not complain.
Yeah, I agree.
Right? You were eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches because there was a weather delay.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Nobody knew.
Moving on. We'll put bets on that next week. Would Tracy just shut up and do as she's told? Probably not. Okay, so moving along, we have, do you guys think that Matthew Stafford is a Hall of Famer, and why? I do agree. I believe that the hype is real, but you guys see things as coaches that I don't see on that field. So who would like to take this one?
Yeah, I'll go first. I mean, I think he's got Hall of Fame ability, right? But if Matthew Stafford is a Hall of Famer, then Matt Ryan is a Hall of Famer, right? I mean, in my opinion, I mean Matt Ryan has got nearly 60,000 yards passing in this league, and nobody would even think twice right now about putting him in the Hall of Fame. So, if Matthew Stafford can come off of a career with Detroit and only spend a half of a season with the Rams and be a Hall of Famer, then I'd have to call some BS on that one too. I mean, he's got a long way to go with that, and he's not as dominant as say Barry Sanders or Megatron were in Detroit. I mean, those guys were once in a lifetime, once in a generation players. He wasn't that in Detroit. He'd have to put 5 or 6 years of solid high level play together at the Rams before I'd say he gets anywhere near that place. Matt Ryan should be there 4 years before he's there. In my opinion.
I think the way he's playing in Los Angeles with the offensive scheme is going to allow him to put up more video game numbers. And has he won a championship? No. Will he ever win a championship? Who knows? But I don't think he has to win a championship to be a Hall of Famer. And I think that he may not be a first ballot Hall of Famer. It may take him a while to get the votes but eventually he's going to be top five in most all passing categories. You can't leave a top 5 all-time passer out of the Hall of Fame, whether he has a Super Bowl or not.
They're going to leave Matt Ryan out of this deal. I'm telling you.
I think Matt Ryan is also going to be a Hall of Famer, but he's going to be a top 10 all-time passer as well with the pace that he's on.
Yeah.
But he just may not be first ballot.
He's not going to be first ballot. No, he's not. So, I mean, I agree with you though, Coach. I mean, I just think sometimes things get skewed. I mean, I think he's riding a high right now because of what's happening right now. If the vote was today, that people would put him in, and they forget all about Matt Ryan. But yeah, his numbers do speak for himself.
You're going to have names below Matt Ryan's name as far as statistics without a championship, just like Matt Ryan, that are Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't Matt Ryan be a Hall of Famer?
Yeah.
Right.
Because there's a certain image right now. Yeah. But Stafford he's got ability for sure. No doubt about it.
You're right, Coach. If they don't win a championship, it's going to take a while for people to appreciate their careers and put them in. Yeah.
Okay. Packers and Bengals this past weekend. Wow. So I did pick Bengals. So it was 25-22 for the Packers. I yelled at the screen. I threw a few things. I called Aaron Rodgers some names. I was so mad. I thought for sure the Bengals were going to get it. But no. There he is. He showed up, and I know, Chris, that's a great thing. You're happy, but man, what a close game. A lot of the games lately are pretty close. They're either, a blowout or they're very, very close.
Yeah.
There was some juju on that football. The kickers kept missing those kicks.
The kickers.
There was some juju on the ball.
I have good, I can compose myself. I have, I'm really good at that.
Yeah, they can't blame it on the weather. The weather was good.
The kickers, my God, they took my last nerve. It took me forever to calm down from that game, I will say. Any other games that you guys, anything that's sticking out with any games this weekend that you saw?
I just kind of watched Red Zone and just try to peek at all the games, but I wasn't able to hone in on one particular game. So
yeah, I have a flipper. There's probably about 2 TVs going on my laptop, and I have like every NFL channel that I could possibly get, so I get every game.
Nice. Wow.
Yes.
And you're watching you watch your games alone?
Sometimes friends come over.
Okay.
But as I said, I'm very quiet though.
Does your son watch football?
Yes, he does. When he's not working, he'll watch it.
Okay.
Yeah. He's a Packers fan.
Okay.
Nice. There you go.
So, but I'm very quiet when I watch. And then when I see things that aren't going my way, I get a little upset. Just a little.
Yeah.
And we had last night, we had the Colts and the Ravens, another one. Jeez. When that started, I was like, what? All of a sudden the Colts are here. What? Nobody was really picking them. They weren't really favored in this game. It was a 31-25 for the Ravens, but man, that was a nail biter too.
I knew they would put up a fight on Monday Night Football. It's a big stage. Everyone's watching. Carson Wentz made some plays. And, the Colts have always had some good pieces.
Mm-hmm.
But, they're just a quarterback away from being a playoff team, I always felt like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was really impressed with Lamar Jackson. I mean, just watching him. It's been a while since I really just watched him closely, but his game is starting to look a lot like Michael Vick now. I mean, when he first came into the league, when he was running, there were scripted run plays, and they were running inside zone reads type stuff with him. But now he's pass first, and then he kills you with the scramble, kind of like Michael Vick did. I mean, so he's pretty impressive now. He can make some throws, and he made some clutch throws down the stretch yesterday. But he's coming into his own as a guy that can throw and still beat you if he has to make a play extend. And it's a fun thing to watch. I mean, that guy's pretty impressive now.
Absolutely. It's amazing how he was recently an NFL MVP, and neither of us named him in our top 5 quarterbacks.
Yeah.
No.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, he's impressed me with delivering the ball late in the game when the game was on the line. He was delivering some throws.
Yeah.
I want to see him do that in the playoff game, though. That's what I'm waiting to see.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
I did watch football on Saturday, guys.
Awesome.
I did. And obviously the big one, Ole Miss, that was a battle. I really liked that one. And I watched
Miss.
And I watched Texas. I was back and forth.
Well, let's talk about Bama.
Okay, you guys tell me your thoughts on stuff. So I watch it. Again, I'm not you guys. I know.
We had Coach Williams on suicide watch with his Alabama loss.
It was a tough day.
That's why I was quiet and I did not text anyone to say, "Hey, I'm watching the games."
Yeah,
because I know it's a sensitive topic.
Yeah.
Texas A&M is a very talented team. They've recruited extremely well for the last 3 years, and I think this Alabama offense is a good offense. But it's not as great as some of the Alabama offenses that we've seen in the past.
Yeah.
It's definitely not as good as last year's Alabama offense. And we've seen a lot of Bama offenses that are better than this one. So
I agree.
Bama's not out of it, but they slipped up. Texas A&M, like I said, Texas A&M has Jimmys and Joes just like Bama does. But I think Bama's better at the quarterback position. But I mean, they just got outplayed. Anybody can get outplayed on any given night. But I know a lot of these Bama fans are shooken up. And it's a crazy thing. Fans are so crazy. I'm seeing fire Nick Saban stuff. I'm seeing fire Nick Saban posts from Bama fans. Come on, people.
Yeah, that's called passion.
That's called nuts. That's the greatest college coach of all time. Fire him. Come on.
I know. I saw it. I read it all. Chris, how you feeling over there?
Tough day for Bama fans. I mean, now the only Bama fans talking like that, those are the backwood Bama fans that are talking like that. Now, everybody else understands that we've got a great coach and we got a great program, so we're gonna bounce back. But if there was any coach that I'd be okay that used to coach for Saban to beat Saban, it would be Jimbo Fisher. So I think there's a little bit of a light at the end of the tunnel still for Alabama. I think we'll still make the playoff. And I think that loss, this has happened before in seasons in the past. I mean, you have that loss and you kind of re-motivate yourself. I think we're still going to see Alabama make a run. I don't know that they're going to win the championship, but I do think you'll see them in the Final Four.
Yeah, it was a great day. I mean, to watch football. It was a good weekend because it was my Thanksgiving. So, again, it was football. We had our football game, and we talked about that. So Coach Kirk Broussard, the Ticats played.
Let me add this, Tracy. I mean to cut you off, but
yeah.
I saw a meme that I really thought was poignant for Alabama fans. Was that I hope that our program never gets so bad that everybody is hoping that we got to be hoping for somebody else to lose to give us some sort of a happy feeling, right? So I mean I don't think I just hope our program is never like that. I mean, we if we never won another championship, it would last us all of our lifetimes, the championships that have already been won. So we don't even have to win another one, but everybody sits on the edge and are hoping Alabama falls. I just never want us to have to be in that.
But listen, Coach, listen.
Yeah.
In the world that we live in today, with all of this investigation stuff that's going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you truly think in the next 10 years they won't be an Alabama investigation to see why you won so many championships?
I know there won't be, because there's a system. I mean,
there's got to be something they can find.
Coach, the system is so airtight. I'm just telling you. I mean, I know for a fact that our team is not winning this many championships without a little help, right? But Bear Bryant, I could tell you some stories, Coach, but Bear Bryant set this thing up so airtight. Nick Saban is just running off of what Bear set up. I mean, the system, all the bodies, all the people, all the bag men are in place. I mean, it's such a system that it's like Fort Knox, Coach. I mean, it's like getting into the Pentagon if you would get some information out of this.
Okay. So let me ask you this. Out of all Saban's assistants, do they not have access to the secret sauce? Because they can't duplicate it when they leave.
They know a little bit. I mean, you can see they know a little bit. They don't know all of the total secrets.
He don't give them the full recipe.
Doesn't give them the full recipe.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, I respect that.
I love the love that the two of you guys have for each other.
No doubt.
We talk about football.
No doubt about that.
Yes, it's always good. But yeah, so it was a nice weekend full of football. I had a great Saturday watching it, Sunday, Monday, and today I kind of feel empty. I feel lost. I don't know. Oh, but you know what? What else was on Saturday, guys? The big fight. Tyson Fury, the Wilder. I watched that too. So 40 pounds difference for weight. There was about 4 inches in height. I think about that. Wasn't there like a few inches in height? There was a difference.
Maybe 1 or 2, but they're close to the same height.
Oh, I thought they were more than just an inch or 2, but regardless, yeah, they were. Man, I respect to Wilder because he was not going down. He was taking it.
That's a double loss for Tuscaloosa, they're saying, because he's from Tuscaloosa, and Alabama lost.
Yeah. You notice he didn't come out until after the game was over. You know, he was
really?
watching the game. He
was watching the game. Okay.
Yeah.
I was wondering if he was going to do that. Yeah. But I went and watched that fight, and I was right there. And I mean, Tyson Fury is just more fundamentally better. He's a fundamentally better boxer. And Wilder, I always said if Wilder ever develops some fundamentals, he has no jab. It's just big shots, hooks, uppercuts, hooks. You know, he has no jab. A guy with his reach, if he had got with like a Larry Holmes or developed a jab like that, I thought he could be lethal. And he has his defense. If you watch Wilder's defense, man, he fights with his hands down. He rarely blocks shots. And it's something about his ear. He got bust on the ear again in this fight and got hurt. And you know, he actually knocked Fury down earlier in the fight. And after that, once he had thrown those big shots for the first 5 rounds, he started to get fatigued, and Fury just had his way with him.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good fight. Chris, did you watch it?
You know, no, I only saw some of the highlights, but I don't know. I mean, I'm not enough of a boxing guy. Coach is the expert on that. So, but from what I can tell, it looks like, I mean, just from my observation, I like to judge athleticism and look at athletes. Wilder looks like he's a little bit heavier than he should be, you know, and I don't know what that's about. Maybe he's trying to meet, you know, Fury at the, you know, somewhere in the middle of Fury's weight, but he just seems like he would be better if he was at his natural weight. I mean, maybe his natural weight's probably in that 215, 220 range, but he just looks too big for me. What do you think, Coach?
Yeah, he looked like he put on some pounds, probably to bang with. He probably want to bang with Fury.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, he trains at home. You know, a lot of boxers go away to train to get away from everything. You know, his epicenter of training is at home, which he has the acres and his private thing all set up. But still, it's just something about where you can get away from all the distractions of family and just focus on the man that you got in front of you coming up. So there's all ways we can criticize him, but ultimately the guy needs to develop some skill. He needs to develop a jab, some defense, and he needs to be more elusive. I mean, he just stands toe-to-toe with you, swings, and never blocks.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, he got away with it against some lesser opponents because he was throwing big shots, taking a lot of people out early. But now he's getting exposed because he's going against boxers that can really, throw a combination of different punches. So I don't know. He's just got by on raw talent. He's one of those guys.
Yeah.
And if he's made a lot of money. I mean, if he wants to truly be great, and I mean, he's a part of one of the greatest trilogies ever. That heavyweight championship, those all 3 fights have been great fights. It was definitely worth the money.
Mm-hmm.
I would pay to see a 4th fight. That's how good it was. So, yeah.
Nice.
Yes, it was good. It was a good weekend when it comes to sports. Now, moving forward, week 6. I have not done my predictions yet.
Mm-hmm.
I have to sit down and, get weather reports, long range forecasts. I got to figure out the injuries and who's on and who's off.
Yeah.
I gotta put my effort into this.
It's a little too early for predictions. We'll post those at the end of the week.
Yeah. So, because I can't quite figure out what the big game of the week is. Nothing's really popping out at me. Mm-hmm. We know how the Rams and the Giants game is going to end up. Rams will probably take that one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll just put that big elephant in the room. We'll just say it that my Giants aren't doing well.
Lightning could strike.
We have the Chiefs taking on the Washington.
Mm-hmm.
Packers are taking on the Bears. Chargers and Ravens. Dolphins are taking on the Jags. So, I mean,
the Dolphins will get a win.
Browns, Cardinals, that'll be a good one.
Hey, I'll tell you who is happy: Urban Meyer, because Gruden's taking all the heat away from Urban Meyer.
Yes, the female that was in the picture, right, or in the video.
Yeah,
her mom has come out to the media.
Wow.
To say that like her mental health has now been affected by this.
And how's that? What was the angle there?
Because her face has been plastered all over.
Okay.
Well, you knew you were grinding on Urban Meyer. What did you think would happen?
Maybe she really didn't know who he was.
Come on. Sure, she didn't. He was taking pictures with everybody in the bar. That's why he came to the bar to take photos.
Well, this was quite the photo op.
She knew he was a somebody.
Yeah,
she did. And she smiled, and she looked very, very lovely in her picture and very comfortable. So that's good. But yes, he does seem to be happy.
How old do you think she is?
Like mid-20s, maybe?
You think so? Okay.
I don't know. It's hard to tell a female's age.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? I mean, I know I probably look like I'm 20.
Yeah, for sure.
But
I'm 19.
We all know that I'm not. It's the light. But anyways, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how old she is, but mom has come out to say, like, obviously that her mental health, she's very worried about her daughter. So yeah.
Money.
Right? I guess. Yeah. It comes down. Maybe she was looking for a sugar daddy.
Yeah.
Right?
Mom should be worried about that.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
Exactly.
Everyone's worried, but they're not. She didn't say, hey, you know what? I probably should be worried that my daughter was giving lap dances and taking pictures while doing those lap dances.
Yeah.
In this day and age, if you're going to do something like that, don't show your face.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't take a picture.
Exactly. She got stars in her eyes.
Yes, she had something in her eyes. But yeah, so that's pretty much it with all our topics. Anything else that is on your mind, coaches, that you want to discuss?
Not really.
No, I'm just grateful to be here with you beautiful people and have a great, lovely show. Thank you.
We always have a great time. That is it for the Play Callers pod. If you guys have any guest requests, which we will be having some guests coming on very soon. If you have any questions or anything, just give us a shout out. Follow us on all social. And we will be back next week, next Monday. And don't worry, all our picks for week 6 will be posted soon. So, gentlemen, I hope you have a great night.
And if you're watching the show, please share it. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yes. Share it.
Yes,
share us.
Share it.
Okay, guys. Have a good one.
Have a good